Today in Iowa Sunday.
Welcome back to Today in Iowa Sunday. Congressman Zach Nunn joins us now for this second half hour. Congressman Nunn currently represents Iowa's 3rd District in the U.S. House of Representatives and is seeking re-election. Congressman Nunn, thank you so much for joining us today.
Man, always a privilege. Thank you very much for having me on.
You are welcome. You are entrenched in campaigning right now.
Yes.
We're a couple weeks, 2.5 weeks out from the election. Our viewers have seen signs in the yard that say your name. I'm sure they've seen television ads. You are an incumbent, so they likely have some familiarity with you. I want to take the opportunity, though, to let you kind of do a little get to know you couple of minutes here, because I also don't want to assume that all of the people who watch this know everything about you and about your career. So let's just start off with a couple minutes of who is Zach Nunn?
Well, thank you, Amanda. And I will say this, I can make a commitment on this is a campaign promise we will follow through on. The next couple of weeks, all those yard signs, commercials, mailers will be out of people's boxes, and we can get it. All we ask is that people take the opportunity to get informed and go vote. So thank you for giving me the opportunity. I'm an Iowa kid, grew up here, 6th generation farm family kid. My dad was a teacher, my mom was a nurse. This is a community that helped raise my wife, Kelly, and I. And after school, I went and served in the military. I'm still serving in the military now. I serve as an Air Force colonel on the reserve side. And in our first tours out, I went to Afghanistan, flew operations over Iraq, back to Afghanistan, started working operations against both Russia and China. We've seen threats firsthand that are frightening to our nation. But during that entire time, the men and women that I served with in uniform, it didn't matter whether you were a Republican or a Democrat or where you came from, it meant that we were all focused on the same mission, bringing folks home safe, protecting our country, and standing up for those principles and values that we've had. When I came back to Iowa and had the opportunity to serve here, we took those same mission-focused principles to Washington, D.C. And this is really an extension of another deployment for me. This is protecting our families, it's about serving our community, and I'm privileged to get to be not only the top 10 most bipartisan member of Congress, working with Republicans and Democrats, but even more mission-focused, results-driven for folks here in Iowa, which is why we passed things like rural housing, Family Leave Act, supporting our military troops. These are the 80+% of things that all Iowans agree on. And Iowa's 3rd district here in Des Moines, down to the Missouri border, is one of the most fairly drawn districts in the country. That's really good for democracy. It's also a privilege in my first term that we've been able to represent Iowa values across the spectrum, and even more, give Iowans real results that will help make their lives better.
One of Iowans' biggest concerns right now, and this is no surprise to you, is the state of the economy, because they are seeing their grocery bills higher. They are, if they're a first-time home buyer or in that sort of market, they're seeing higher interest rates. So as far as the economy goes right now, what are you telling Iowans about the current state of the economy, about what you see as the economy in the future?
Yeah, right now it's hard. We've got 6 kiddos, and just making scrambled eggs in the morning, that's 44% more expensive than it was 3 years ago. We maximize the minivan, right? we fill it up. Gas is almost twice as what it was when Biden first came into office. At the end of the day, overall government vast spending, particularly what we call Biden inflation, has cost every Iowan $26,000 more out of their pocket. Now, here's what I pushed. The very first bill I led was a balanced budget amendment. To say that an Iowa farmer or a small business owner or a family wouldn't balance their credit card or checkbook at the end of the month just doesn't make sense. That's not how we do things here in Iowa. So when I was in the state Senate, we passed 3 bills. Each one cut Iowa taxes substantially. The 3 largest tax cuts in Iowa history, we were privileged to lead. And what we saw was that when Iowans have more money in their pockets, they invest in their community, their family, their neighborhood, and that's how you grow an economy, not more government spending. So I want to make sure we retain more hard-earned dollars right here in Iowa and don't send them off to D.C. Because tragically what we saw the Democrats do these last 3 years is spend trillions of dollars that not only drove up the cost for everything, but kept more of it in Washington and less of it in our communities. And I think that is very dangerous. And it's one of the reasons, since I've been in D.C., I've been able to claw back $26 million for hard infrastructure projects, roads, bridges, helping mental health and child homelessness here, advancing waterway conservation, and doing really meaningful things that help grow our community. And one of them, Amanda, I'll tell you, we invested $6 million in economic development in the poorest county in Iowa, Appanoose. And that's returned a $2 billion economic growth incentive to that poor community that now is going to have a very bright future. To me, that's how you invest tax dollars that grow an economy and help our local communities.
What about the challenge of doing that, though, right? Like when the country has such a huge deficit and you want to be providing counties in Iowa and across the country with this kind of help, it costs money to do that. And
Right.
it seems like in Washington there's so much gridlock.
Yeah.
So what is it like to try to navigate through all of that?
So I think this is really important. You have to make a tactical investment in things that are really going to grow the economy, not just grow government. And that's the key difference here, I think, in this election. Do you want somebody who's going to invest, millions of dollars to get billions of dollars return on economic investment, or do we want to send millions of dollars to Washington and see it stay in Washington? A couple of the things that we've worked really hard on, and I'll highlight this with the Farm Bill that we were able to pass in a bipartisan way through the House Ag Committee. As a freshman, we were able to get more of our legislation into that bill than any other member of Congress. And it focused on things like young and beginning farmer tax credits to help somebody start a really big process of becoming a farmer. That's a small amount of money that ends up returning a massive economic growth for our state. Hardened infrastructure in broadband so that we can really advance the future of not just technology, but rural communities and urban communities to offer them things that are going to help grow the economy. To me, that's a smart use of taxpayer dollars. And then certainly a number of bills that I've been able to pass through the National Defense Authorization Act. This is America's defensive umbrella, right?
Yes.
Being able to protect both our southern border and American interests overseas means that we invest in our military. I was proud to lead the largest investment for troop pay increase for our enlisted troops. These are the most junior members. And right now, Amanda, Kamala Harris said we've got no military troops in active war zones. Well, tell that to the 3 Gold Star families who lost kids in the Middle East just this year. They're in real harm's way, and yet they're making a pay that's on par with somebody who works at a coffee shop. These are frontline defenders. We need to make sure that they get not only the pay they deserve, but what they signed up to do to protect our country, that we're honoring our promise to them.
You mentioned the Farm Bill, and that was one of
Yeah.
my questions that I wanted to ask you. What is going on with the Farm Bill?
Yeah,
in
yeah.
terms of not anything, really. Unfortunately, it's expired, right? And we know how much the Farm Bill helps Iowa, not just farmers, but we have people who are food insecure who depend on, funding through the Farm Bill and whatnot. So I know this is a passion of yours. You had a Farm Bill listening tour
That's
that
right,
you did.
that's right.
So if you could just tell us the current state of where this is at and what you see for the future of the Farm Bill.
Yeah, so we approached this very much like a military operation. The first thing we did was we wanted to identify all the information on the field. I did that by literally going to the field and talking to several hundred farmers at our Farm Bill listening tours. They identified to me priorities they needed, things like crop insurance, helping make sure that we're food secure, expanding biofuels so that Iowa gets to become part of the energy solution for energy autonomy right here in the United States. We were able to bring those in, and we distilled them down to about 17 bills. And I recognized it was important for me not just to have Republican views on this, but to go out and find other Democrats. And so I went to North Carolina and Illinois and Minnesota and found other Democrats who wanted to be part of these bills. We were able to get that into a Farm Bill that came through and passed through the House Ag Committee on a bipartisan level. Now, I will say we are one part of Congress. The other part, the Senate, has not even written a bill yet. And that's very disappointing because you can't have a conversation with Democrats in the Senate if they haven't put their ideas down. I think there are a couple of things that are very important for our farmers. First and foremost, we have to have a Farm Bill. This is not a 1-year bill. This is a 5-year bill. Getting it right matters. This is half a decade investment in everything from family farms to making sure that we've got things like SNAP so that a single mother working a second shift can come home and take care of her kids if she needs to have access to that food. Expanding those programs in a way that's meaningful. You don't have to drive all the way into Des Moines to get a frozen turkey. You should be able to go to a local Casey's and get a rotisserie chicken. It serves the same purpose and helps that family. Those were amendments that I championed and added. There are other things in the Farm Bill that I think are also important. Conservation, expanding farms, new technology, and Amanda, one that's been very personal to me is Goldie's Act, a way to help fight, puppy mills here in Iowa. And I heard this time and time again, families who wanted to buy that first puppy, and they found that in Iowa, the USDA had failed to inform local law enforcement when these animals were being tortured, abused, and sadly, we had to put hundreds of them down. Our bill will help fix that. I think that's an important thing. It's just a good thing for Iowa.
Before we go to break, what is your level of optimism that it will get through in some way, shape, or form?
Yeah, highly confident. And I'm fully committed to this. We fought hard on it. I even think during the lame duck session, we have the opportunity now for the Senate, who will probably switch from Republican to Democrat, to come together, pass a Farm Bill, take care of our farmers, and make sure that food security is really part of our national security.
Okay, thank you. And we will be back after the break. We're going to switch gears, and we'll be talking about abortion coming up next.